Want help to grow your business? Download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.
Hi everyone, once again, welcome to Teach Me Tech, the show where we take new and complex ideas and tools online. We break them down for you, we learn them for you, and we show you exactly how you can use them at home too. Hi, my name's Kvist, host of Teach Me Tech, and this week we're going to take a look at how to get more out of Fiverr. Now, if you missed the first episode, that's okay because we'll do a quick recap in just a moment. But hopefully today you're going to get even more in depth and more comfortable with using the website called Fiverr.com. Now, two quick things before we get started. First of all, I want you to follow along at home. If you've got a second screen, grab it now, get involved and start using Fiverr.com. The reason why I say this is because this might be entertainment if you find me entertaining, but what I want it to be is I want it to be educational. I want you to take some of these tips out and I want you to get involved at home because that's the only way you're going to learn and get something out of the tools that we use. And number two is ask and share. You know what this is? That's the hash. Did you like that noise? That's the hashtag. Teach Me Tech. I want you to use the hashtag Teach Me Tech and get involved in the conversation. I want you to ask questions. I want you to share your experiences. And I want everyone in the community to get involved with that hashtag Teach Me Tech. And as we grow the community, we'll grow the resources that we have with each other online. Now, whether your favorite social platform is Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or anything else, get involved. That's the hashtag Teach Me Tech. Get involved in the conversation. Tell us your good stories. Tell us your bad stories. We love hearing bad stories because we all learn from them and we can have a laugh at them as well. Might not be funny at the time. It'll be funnier when we talk about it later. But first, let's have a look at what we're going to cover today. And first thing is a quick recap of the basics of using Fiverr for your business as I discussed. Then we're going to go into the most common mistakes users make and how to avoid them. How to find and save your favorite providers on Fiverr, which is really important. How to get the most out of a job by purchasing upgrades, or as they call them on Fiverr, gig extras. Why it makes sense to hire multiple people for the same job. How to develop an ongoing relationship with your favorite providers. How to use Fiverr when you need specific custom jobs done and you can't necessarily find them on the website. And finally, how to complete a larger project with multiple providers. And I'll call this my little bonus ninja strategy for today. So right now, let's get started. And we'll take a look at a quick recap of the basics of using Fiverr. Now, when it comes to the basics of using Fiverr, it's all about outsourcing. And if you don't understand the premise of outsourcing, it's basically when you hire someone else to do a job that either you don't have time, money, or the skill or expertise to do yourself. So you get someone else, a professional in to outsource to do that job. Now, we all outsource every day because we all hire people locally to do jobs that we can't do locally. You know, that might be as simple as hiring an accountant to do your taxes or hiring a plumber to fix your toilet. But the fact is, we can then take this idea and then we can use it in the online world for business as well. And we can leverage the fact that you can find people from all around the globe who are experts in what they do to complete your jobs. Now, it was just last week I was speaking to a property investor. Now, he owns over $30 million in property. Can you imagine? And it was interesting hearing his take on outsourcing. He wasn't referring to websites like Fiverr. He was just talking about, with regards to property investing, how he couldn't understand why people try and do everything themselves or cut corners when investing in property. Because by doing that, they're wasting a lot of time, and in the long term, they're wasting a lot of money. Even for things such as renovations, where people will take a week or 2 weeks off work just to paint their house, when they could have paid someone much less than what they would have been able to earn in their job, and they would have had a professional actually do a professional job on their house as well. Why would you go through the pain and anguish when you can pay someone else? So it was interesting hearing his perspective as a multi-millionaire property investor with exactly the same principles that we talk about. Next, we talked about finding experts to help you solve problems. You see, the important thing is, we want you to have the best chance in business. Now, that means you need the skills and expertise of people that know exactly what they're doing. Credit where credit's due. I love it when people say, I learnt this myself using online tools and tricks, and that's great. But the fact of the matter is that the best use of your time? And you have to ask yourself that question every day when you're doing a task in your work. Just write down a list, and is it the best use of your time to either do that task or learn that task? And if the answer is no, why are you doing it? And people always say to me, oh yeah, I don't have the money to pay someone. Well, here's the thing, right? Let's have an honest conversation. This is the honest truth. If you feel like you can't afford to hire someone on Fiverr to do a task, then you're better off going out and getting a job flipping burgers at McDonald's, because you will earn more money and you will learn more practical skills doing that than you will trying to learn some of the skills that you should be outsourcing on Fiverr. That's me getting serious. I hope that's okay with you. We'll get our serious stuff out of the way. Now, that brings us on to our next point. What is your time worth? So an important thing that you can do is sit down and actually map out what is the value of your time, your hourly rate. Now, whether that be the hourly rate that you outsource at or the hourly rate overall as a bigger picture, you need to calculate what your time is worth. Now, for some people, it's working forward to figure that out. Just going, well, my hourly rate is X dollars an hour. Or for other people, have you tried this? Figure out exactly where you want your income to be at the end of the year, and then divide that income by the amount of weeks that you plan on working and the amount of hours you plan on working in those weeks, because that will actually give you your realistic figure. Because a lot of people come to me and they say, oh, I want to earn this much in the year, but when you calculate it back to their hourly rate, it was a long way removed, far removed from what they actually thought it was when they're talking about their hour-to-hour workload. So it's important to get very clear on what your hourly rate is. And the other thing that we did with regards to the Fiverr website is we took a look at how to make sure we're using other people's reviews and feedback to find the best people to do our job. We don't have to use people that are unskilled or untested or untried on Fiverr. You can, there's no problems with that. But the absolute best thing to do is to let the crowd figure out who the best people are for you to use. So you look at reviews, you look at feedback, and the people that have the best reviews and feedback, they're the ones that we're going to test out, because they're already tried and tested by a lot of other people in the Fiverr community. So that is a quick recap on what we covered last week, and hopefully filled in a few gaps and a few details for those that actually had joined us there as well. So let's move on and take a look at the most common mistakes that users make and how to avoid them. So with regards to the Fiverr website, and if we go live onto the Fiverr site now, and you can see my desktop computer here, we'll flick over to that, and you can see the Fiverr website, and we took a look around this last week. And you can see it is quite easy to find your way around by clicking on these different headings and then finding the subheading to find exactly the task that you're looking for. Now, if you're not the kind of person that wants to manually search by going through the tabs, remember you can click on the Find Services button and you can enter details up here. For example, if we wanted help with a WordPress website, we can type that in and we can go straight to the category that we want and click on it that way. So it is quite easy to find your way around, but the challenge is when we get to this point and we've found these providers, we talked about last week how to narrow that category down. And I talked about things like, you want to make sure that we're also looking at top-rated sellers or level 2 sellers. In this case, there's only 4 top-rated sellers in this category. So we're going to click on those 4 and we're going to bring them up. So that actually narrows our search down quite significantly. Now, we can then literally just click on one of these people to complete the task if it matches what we're looking to do. The trick is, if I hadn't narrowed it down to those 4, or even when I have, people then spend time going through these specific providers and they click on them and they bring it up on the page like I will here, and they look at it and they go, okay, this looks good. Well, let's take a look through their portfolio here, and we'll click on that. They've got a video. Let's watch that. Let's click on this one here, find out what's going on. The next thing you know, they've spent an hour or two going through candidates to hire someone for a $5 job. So what is the real price that you are paying for that job? It's not $5, right? It's not $5. People say to me all the time, they say, hey, Pete, I've got a quick task. I know there's someone on Fiverr that can do this. Can I give you the $5 and sort the job for me? No, I cannot do that for you. Why? Because it takes me time to find the providers. Even if I found the providers in the past, that's the collections that I'm making, which we'll talk about later. That's work that I've put in. I'm not necessarily going to give those ideas away for free to other people. Why should I? That's the time that I've spent, the hard work that I've put in for this job. Why should I just give that away freely to everyone else who's just been lazy? There's no way I'm going to do that. So you need to calculate that with regards to the real cost of using Fiverr. The next mistake that people make is they don't read descriptions properly. So let's take a look at an example now of voice.
To continue enjoying this presentation, download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.